to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So momentarily we are going to go into executive session, and we'll follow that procedurally. I think we will have public comment now. I think we have at least 2 public commenters on the page here in person. If there's anyone remote who would wish to make public comment, so up to 2 minutes, Newburyport resident or business owner, and on a matter on the agenda, that would be great. So if anyone wants to raise their hand online. And we'll call the roll first.
Can I just motion for a 5-minute recess?
Okay, I think we're going to call the roll first, and then we'll, yeah, which I should have done.
So the roll call for the meeting of October 27th, Councillor Lane.
Here.
Councillor McCauley. Here. Councillor Preston. Councillor Shan.
Here.
Councillor Wright.
Yeah.
Councillor Zeed.
Here.
Councillor Donahue.
Here.
Councillor Granis.
Here.
Councillor Harmon.
Here.
Councillor Khan.
Here.
Councillor Cameron.
Here. All right, so again, we could just go right into public comment and get that out of the way.
I'd rather do a motion for just a 5-minute recess.
Okay, at Councillor Lane's request, we'll have a 5-minute recess. Second on that? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. We're going to recess for 5 minutes, and you'll see, we'll be right back.
But assuming they're packed.
Okay, folks, we're
You can always take them out.
mute. So we're going to resume the meeting. We did have a brief recess there for folks. We did have a brief recess for those of you who are online. So we're going to take public comment. We have at least a couple of people in person, and I see at least one hand raised online. If you wish to make public comment online, please raise your hand now, or else you shall miss your opportunity. So we're going to start in person first. And again, if you can state your name and your address, affiliation, and up to 2 minutes on a topic on the agenda. And first would be Dylan Thompson. And Dylan, if you could go up to the microphone there. And again, 2 minutes, and state your name, address, and your 2 minutes. Go for
I'm
it.
Dylan Edward Thompson of 25 Temple Street, apartment 510, Newburyport. Awesome. To the mayor and city council and everyone who calls Newburyport home, we have a chance to do something extraordinary, something that has never been done before right here in our city. I am asking you to welcome a new neighbor. Her name is Theodora. Blah, blah, blah. Here's what Theodora, balance, growth. Doesn't too fast, too big. She helps grow. She fairness, and she won't replace our leaders. She will support them. You know, just insult the computer for your fighting new kind of citizen. I am a Sidel and Scar Edward Thompson. I gotta go.
Okay, thank you, Dylan. Okay, thank you. Next would be Carrie Perry.
Good evening. My name is Carrie Sharon Perry. I live at 21 Old Farm Way in Newbury, Massachusetts. I'm CEO of Community Action, Inc., which is one of the largest anti-poverty organizations in the area. I just want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak. Community Action, Inc. manages large federal contracts, including Head Start, energy programs. We work closely with the SNAP program, so I'm sure you've heard a lot of this on the news. I'm here to talk about the energy program. This program was scheduled to start on October 1st. That's when our federal contract begins. Right now, we're working outside of the contract, which means my staff is coming in every day and I'm paying them through agency funding sources. We're working with the state of Massachusetts, the Commonwealth, and the Executive Office of Housing. They are releasing funds so that we can support the administrative costs of this, but we do not have money that is going to support people's individual heating accounts. Last year, we had 167 Newburyport households that access this program. It's really critical, you know, on so many levels, but this morning was really cold. When I got out to my car and there was frost on the car, there's people who don't have access to delivered fuels right now. not as concerned about National Grid. The moratorium, I don't know if you heard, but the moratorium was put in place today. It generally goes in place on November 15th, but advocates, including my agency, we advocated with the Department of Public Utilities, and they agreed to start it today. That means that people have to have an organization like mine or other community action agencies, they have to be vetted. So people have to put an application in, and my team has to determine that they are economically eligible for this program. Once that's in place, we send a note to National Grid that says, you know, they're eligible for this program, and there's a moratorium in place for that family. That means until April, they cannot be an energy shut-off. So that will really help keep families safe and households safe this winter. Another pain point is going to be small businesses. We have lots of small businesses, local oil deliverers who, you know, we work very closely with. They're part of our economic system here. So they are going to be in a place where they're getting phone calls. These are some of the kindest, most compassionate people. They partner with us. They call us and say someone's in trouble, and they're not going to be able to help. But I just want people to understand what's happening here, because your phone calls are going to start ringing November 1st for many reasons, including SNAP benefits likely being turned off, including our energy program. We're doing the best we can. We work closely with very compassionate neighbors and foundations who have given us small amounts of donated funds that we can use. But, you know, our program is a multi-million-dollar program that supports many, many vulnerable households, the majority of which are elders who are isolated at home. And I just want to
Thank you.
make sure we're
Okay,
protecting our neighbors.
So this is thank you for coming in here, and this is communication 672 in our packet, and we'll deal with that later in the agenda. We can be in touch. We can be in touch with you, and thank you for coming in. That would lead us to Jane Snow.
Jane Snow, 9 Coffin Street. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I thought we were going to do this after. The request for a attorney for $2,500, I totally support that. If you look at the list and they say that we've had like 3 or 4 opinions, one of the opinions was given in 2016, and it was for a completely different project on Low Street. Has nothing to do with the Kmart project from everything I can gather. The other one is from our city attorney. I have absolutely, positively zero faith. I've been sitting at all these meetings. I've heard her give one opinion, change it to a different opinion, and change it to a third opinion. So all of you, when it was time to renew her contract, did not appoint her, and yet she was under I don't know what you want to call it, but she ended up being reappointed, and I think it's been a real hindrance to have that. And number 3, I was very upset to see the supplemental budget, because I sat here in May and June and listened to Councillor Z do an excellent job of pulling in all kinds of department heads and things, and you carefully went through the budget and you made some cuts, and some of those cuts are in that supplemental budget, and I find that very upsetting. So, and on the bottom of it, I hope you have a happy Halloween.
Thank you, Jane. And that would lead us to online comment. Marianne VC, I believe you are the only hand raised, and I'm going to allow you to talk. I think you might need to unmute yourself. Yep, there you go. So Marianne, name, address, up to 2 minutes on an agenda item.
Thank you. My name is Marianne Vesey, 10 Ken Street, Newburyport, and I am calling in to express my support for the declaration that is supporting democracy in the U.S. Constitution. I think it's fitting that this follows the horror show described by the Director of Community Action, Inc. That's coming at us. And I think we can say we're in Newburyport and we're separate from this, but we're not at all. We are very much affected by what's happening in Washington and the authoritarian regime that's ruling the country. So I really thank you for putting out this support declaration. I just think it's really important that we make a statement about it and not ignore it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to remove permission to talk. All right, so that would get us to the point where I would entertain a motion. Bless you. I'd entertain a motion for to go into executive session. The Newburyport City Council will enter into executive session pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 30, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares, and we would be coming back after executive session into open session.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Councillor Wright, seconded by Councillor Preston. Any discussion? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Councillor Lane?
Yes.
Councillor McCauley?
Yes.
Councillor Preston?
Yes.
Councillor Shan?
Yes.
Councillor Wright? Councillor Zeeb?
Yes.
Councillor Donahue?
Yes.
Councillor Granis?
Yes.
Councillor Harmon?
Yes.
Councillor Khan?
Yes.
Councillor Cameron?
Yes. All right, so we'll, don't know how long this is going to be. I'm going to turn the Zoom off. We will resume when we come out of open session. I know that can be fairly vague for those trying to follow along, but could be 10 minutes, could be 20. I don't make predictions on the council, so thank you. I'm just going to shut the whole thing down.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Thank you, Council President. The mayor is not able to join us today, but I do have an update. I know it was sent kind of late this afternoon, so I will read through it. First, happy Halloween. We had a successful trick-or-treat event at City Hall, the Senior Center, and the library last Thursday. There was candy, some dancing, a haunted hallway downstairs. It was a fun and festive event. I want to thank Christine Jackson at City Hall, and all the staff that participated, the Senior Community Center, including Sarah Landry and Mary Kelly, for organizing these events. We also had a great downtown trick-or-treat on Friday evening. Thank you to the Newburyport Police Department, Chamber of Commerce, and the Department of Public Services for making this possible. As a reminder, I'm sure as many of you know, trick-or-treat across the city will be Friday, October 31st from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Just a reminder, use caution. There will be more pedestrians on the street, so just drive safely, please. State Street. I'm sure as many of you know, last week we completed paving on State Street, Garden Street, and Otis Place, which concluded the 2025 paving season. We want to thank the city's contractor, DNR Paving, the Department of Public Services, the Police Department, for working through the night to get that done. State Street is at the heart of
No, it's this one.
It's this one.
Touching the top of this one. It's this one. That needs to go down.
It's in his.
But what you see in his, in his view is coming from the forefront.
Yeah, well, it's blocking the view, I think is what we're saying.
It's not that one. Thank you. It's that one.
It's blocking the camera view.
There you go.
Oh, sorry, okay.
All right.
That was blocking.
You can start all over again.
No.
I was kidding.
Not to talk about trick-or-treating.
Okay.
So just an update, so State Street has been paved. Again, thank you to the DPS and the contractors. That concludes construction season, at least paving season for this year. We've completed paving across 17 streets across the city. We'll continue to work on sidewalks until winter season comes around. I want to again thank Acting DPS Director John Carey, Acting Deputy Director Jen Sullivan, Foreman Ron Keefe, for the leadership and coordination. It was a big effort to try to get State Street done in all the streets across the city. We are preparing for the next year's construction season, so you will be receiving that plan as part of the rolling 5 years Streets and Sidewalks plan. Just an update on interim Human Resources Director. As you know, we have a new acting Human Resources Director, Finance Director Amy Sauer, who is here this evening. Donna Drellick, the former Human Resources Director, stepped down from the position on October 24th to pursue another career opportunity. The interview process has already started, and we hope to have a new director by this December. We'll go through candidates, interview process with the candidates now, and then hopefully late November we'll be going to council with a selection. Deputy Fire Chief. On October 24th, 2025, Acting Deputy Fire Chief Barry Salt retired from the Newburyport Fire Department. He has been the cornerstone for the department for over 39 years. He led with professionalism, experience, and dedication to our community. His contributions to the community and his mentorship with the fire department have had a lasting impact and will be felt for years to come. Tomorrow, October 28th, 2025, Captain Mike Kimura will be named Deputy Fire Chief. He has served for over 18 years and is committed to promoting fire safety and protecting our community. I appreciate his dedication to look forward to working with him and Chief Bradbury to guide the department into the future. Supplemental budget. We have submitted a supplemental budget for FY 2026. The request totals around $343,000, and it's funded by excess levy capacity and increased local aid. This supplemental budget leaves approximately $200,000 of reductions to the tax levy available for further appropriation, or if unappropriated, a reduction in the tax levy. The explanation for all these requests will be included in a memo, and we look forward to discussion in committee. We know that tonight there is a legal opinion order in order to authorize a special legal counsel to investigate the Water and Sewer Commission's decision to reduce the privilege fee for the Lower Street Betterment District. I'd like to remind the council that there have already been 3 opinions on this matter, one from KP Law, our current city solicitor, and Pierce Atwood, the ZBA's opinion. Our city solicitor clearly states that based on applicable law, guidance, the act, the order, and prior legal opinions, and my own further review of all the information, I conclude that this is assessing body, in this case the Sewer Commission, that has the authority to abate the sewer privilege fee. Furthermore, as explained in the Water and Sewer Commission memo, the fee assessed by the Commission represents the remaining balance of the project for the betterment and is only that amount that can be assessed legally and equitably. No additional privilege fees may be charged beyond the amount because the project bond has already been paid off. I respectfully encourage the council to not use taxpayer funds to seek a 4th opinion. However, if the council moves forward with this option, I will strongly encourage the council to ensure that there's a screening of any conflict of interest. Surveillance report, just an update that we will have the surveillance report by the deadline of October 31st. It's our policy that we deploy technology to enhance public safety, protect city assets, and support investigations related to emergencies, incidents, or criminal activities. We understand that the use of surveillance technologies must balance needs to keep the city safe with the respect of personal liberties. Currently, we have security cameras in place in some public buildings, but as the report will demonstrate, they are rarely needed to respond to incidents. However, they can serve as an extra layer of security across the city to keep our staff and our city assets safe. Lastly but not least, a Waterfront West update. There was a request last meeting for an update on Waterfront West development. As I have mentioned prior, I worked with an advisory group for over a year with broad representation from the community, including members of the Planning Board, the Resiliency Committee, the Planning Director, my staff, and several members of the Council. The advisory group identified a series of terms that will help shape the future of this parcel, understanding that while it's a privately owned parcel, it will require updated zoning to allow it to proceed. The developer, since reviewing the terms, has spent several months working on a master development plan, which they have not shared with us yet. I continue to communicate to them what we have heard from our advisory committee and what we've learned from prior iterations of the process before I took office, that height, density, and parking must not overly burden the area and must fit within the downtown. That resiliency efforts are critical among this riverfront parcel and that a hotel space is imperative. I've also pushed them to provide a pro forma for the development, which we will have peer reviewed at their cost, so that we can better understand the finances of the project and identify public benefits. We anticipate the developer will provide a draft of the master development plan within the next month or 2, at which time we will set up a public process to share that what we have been presented so the public can engage in a dialogue, understand resident concerns and impacts, both positive and negative, on the community to make sure we have the best possible outcome. Thank you, Mayor Sean Reardon.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the Chief of Staff or comments? Councilor Donahue?
Yeah, thank you. Regarding State Street and the work that was done, I know there was also the lighting sort of prep work that was done as they were doing the sidewalks. And I understand that there's like what was it, 20-week lead time on getting the poles, so those won't come till the spring. I'm a little concerned about the 18 holes in the sidewalk that are covered just with cones and a block. Is that going to be secure enough? I mean, can we get any kind of assurance that that's really suffice to last through the winter?
Thank you, Council. My understanding, yes, working with the city electrician, that should be suffice for the winter, especially the wooden boxes I think you're referring to along the sidewalk. I can go back to him and double check that they're winterproof, but that is my understanding. And that was the plan, knowing that we needed that lead time to install the light posts later this spring.
Okay. Are they weighted or bolted down or anything to keep them from?
I don't want to misspeak as I don't know the technical specifications, but I believe they're, pretty secure into the ground, the boxes, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor. Any other questions or comments? Councillor Harmon?
Thank you. I think it's hydrant flushing week or weeks, just as residents reach out with complaints about their water. Want to be able to understand if it's hydrant related or just water in general related. Is there a map or a schedule of streets that would be potentially impacted?
Yes, there is a map of the hydrant flushing, or I should say there is usually a process of either going east to west across the city. I will double check that. It's on the city's website. I apologize, I don't know off the top of my head.
It's on the website, but it doesn't tell you where they are right now.
Okay.
It would be helpful to know.
I can follow with DPS. I think last spring it was working from the western part all the way east towards Plum Island, but I can see which way they're going this year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Or hearing none, thank you. That would bring us to the consent agenda.
The consent agenda this evening, approval of the minutes for the October 7th meeting. One communication 674, the Mass CEC on-street charging solutions program feasibility study to go to Public Works and Safety. Two applications, application 288, the Youth Hockey Tag Day for 2025, and application 289, the movable sign A-frame application for Tiding Time at 58 Merrimack Street, both go to license and permits. One transfer 245, DPS Sewer Plum Island Utility Trust Fund, $100,000, to Sewer Maintenance Plum Island, $100,000 to go to Budget and Finance. One reappointment, 563, Victoria Finnegan of 10 Boxwood Road, to the Assistant Treasurer Collector until 12/1/28 to go to Budget and Finance. One new appointment, Jennifer Pittuck, 44 Marble Street, to the Licensing Board until 12/1/28 to go to License and Permits. The following items will be removed from the respective committees with a motion to approve. General Government, Communication 667, Orders 646 and 764. Public Works and Safety, Order 758.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And can we add the mayor's comment as well?
And to receive and file the mayor's comment.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, thank you. That would lead us to the regular agenda.
So the regular agenda, the first item is Communication 669, restricted parking on State Street for the Friends of Newburyport Library and Book Sale.
Motion to receive and file.
Second.
Discussion, thank you. Councillor Macaulay?
Yeah, I just want to say that there was just a conflict of communication going on, and this really is after the fact. They needed spaces on State Street, and so as we put it all together, we did talk about it, put it on the agenda and spoke about it at PWS. And so I urge us to receive and file it.
Okay, thank you. Further discussion? All those in favor of receiving and filing, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, thank you.
Next item, Communication 670, restricted parking on State Street and Purchase Street on Election Day, November 4th.
Motion to receive and file.
Second.
Made and seconded. Any discussion? Councilor Macaulay?
Same type of situation that we have here. This is something that we've typically done in the past, and given some of the work that was being done, et cetera, this is what we typically do. Again, it's more edification to our point.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councillor Donahue?
Just a quick question. In the past, we've also offered the Harris Street lot for 15-minute parking. Are we doing that again or no?
We weren't planning on it, but we certainly can if it's something that you think is important for that, for the election. I mean, we do honor all resident permits in that lot, so the vast majority of folks do have permits, but we do also tend to go a little bit later on that day, just so that people have a chance to vote and turn around.
Okay, that seems adequate.
Okay.
Good point. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, motion to receive and file. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, thank you.
Communication 671, memo from the mayor's office on the ad hoc committee for the ordinance review.
Motion to receive and file.
And seconded by Councillor Zede, or Councillor Zede, perhaps. Councillor Harmon?
Just by way of update to my colleagues, we have had 2 meetings of the Charter Review Committee, Ordinance Review Committee. We've had some challenges getting fully staffed, but we are working on that. So this is just one more adjustment to make sure we get up to the 9 members.
Thank you. So the motion was made and seconded to receive and file. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, thank you.
Communication 672 is memo from the Community Action Inc. President CEO Carrie Perry.
Motion to receive.
To refer to Public Works and Safety. And I can explain.
Second. Okay, motion made and seconded. Councillor Khan?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm not sure exactly what's gone on in terms of working with, our Molly Attenborough in terms of other types of programs or efforts to help, but I thought it was really informative especially for us when we'll hear from residents who are going to be affected. And I'm sorry I didn't really talk to the chair of the committee to see if that's something that we can at least have a conversation on. So I am willing to, if it feels like it's not something, and I'm not sure if it's something that they're willing to take up, but I do think that's the only place I could see where we could at least talk a little bit more about it, and then also bring in from the city perspective in support, and where do we kind of try to help if there is a possibility. And I actually thought, should community services be a better place as well, because another aspect is the Affordable Housing Trust, and I think they are under community services. But we have these entities, and this seems like a good place to kind of just have the dialogue on how support could be provided in this unique situation.
Yeah, thank you. Councillor McCauley?
Yeah, I have no issue accepting this. We'll talk about PWS. We have other issues to talk, another item that's been referred, that we'll have the Sustainability Office there. We can certainly extend a 10-15-minute conversation, so I have no objection.
Great. Councillor Harmon?
Thank you. I'll just take the opportunity on this topic around energy costs as we go into the winter to also highlight what we expect on November 1st with the elimination of SNAP's Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program benefits. I was doing some research on that today. There are 895 recipients of SNAP benefits in the city of Newburyport who will be struggling to find food. So just to bring awareness to that, there have been lines outside the door of food pantries before they've opened in the morning. They fear running out of food before the end of the day, so just trying to bring some awareness from this to the public.
Thank you. And Councillor Harmon, was that 895 households or individuals?
I don't know the answer.
Okay, but that's a significant number. Okay, motion was made for this to go to Public Works and Safety. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Oh, I'm sorry, Councillor Donahue.
I just want to make a quick point on this topic since I was a little inspired by the Ward 4 councillor. Just for the public's edification, if you receive Mass Health, you're eligible for a reduction in your heating and electricity costs from National Grid. You just have to go on and apply with a Mass Health card.
Good. Thank you. Okay. Voice vote on the motion to refer this to Public Works and Safety. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you.
Communication 673, the firefighters' letter of agreement from April 30th, 2025.
Motion to refer to Public Works and Safety.
Second.
Okay, discussion? Councillor Preston?
Yeah, thanks. So by all accounts, the retiring interim deputy fire chief was a great firefighter, served the city for 39 years. And in my experience and interactions with him, he seems like a really wonderful guy, and I wish him all the best in retirement. Having said that, the document that we received was really not what at least I was looking for. This particular side letter is just about the process for the promotions. What we were really looking for, at least what I was very much looking for, is the side letter that is the contract between the mayor and the former interim deputy fire chief. And so, you know, it's frustrating that we're not getting what was actually asked for, but it is what it is. But just as a little bit of background about how this sort of process played out, you know, there was a great deal of concern from city employees about the process that had really been undertaken there, and that the administration was really going around the union and civil service law. And, you know, well, you know, I'm glad to see that things have finally played out in a way that is in compliance with the union contract as well as civil service law. It really shouldn't have taken, you know, union grievances, employees going around the administration and HR to city council looking for relief, and frankly, at the end of the day, legal proceedings and the use of taxpayer funds to pay for legal counsel in this process. So I'm glad to see that it has, you know, come to a conclusion that is more in keeping with the law. It's just really unfortunate that it had to play out the way that it did. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? So motion made to refer to Public Works and Safety. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, thank you.
Communication, I'll read them together if that's all right. Communications 675 is Plaza Landings Planning Board letter from September 8th, 2025, and Communication 676, Plaza Landings Planning Board letter from October 15th, 2025.
And we'll do 6, 7.
Motion to receive and file collectively?
Second.
Okay, motion to receive and file. Any discussion? Councilor Shan, I'm sorry, what was that? You said? Okay, never mind. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of receiving and filing 675 and Communications 676, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you.
The late files, Communications 677, a memo from the Affordable Housing Trust regarding the redevelopment of 45 Story Avenue.
Motion to receive and file?
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you.
Communications 678, memo from the mayor regarding the deputy fire chief.
Motion to receive and file?
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none. Voice vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say no. All right, thank you.
Appointments, there are 2 temporary appointments. Appointment 561, Jonathan Carey, first 30-day extension as the acting DPS director until 11/7/2025.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Can I just ask as a point of order, I hate to ask this, but so is a receive and file appropriate if we vote to approve? Does that need then 2 votes?
No.
In first reading, second reading, like we do appointments? So I'll look to the clerk for a...
It would, if you're going to motion to approve, you can waive the rules and say it that way, or you can receive and file it, which is essentially accepting it for your record.
Motion to receive and file?
Second.
Councilor McCauley?
Yeah, I do, thank you, Council President. I do have I think it's a point of a procedural issue. I do believe that we approved the first 90-day appointment of this, correct? Okay, so I think typically the procedures that we've been following is that we'd approve the first 90 days, and then any subsequent that went on, it would simply be a receive and file. I just, I want to say it out loud so that we're all comfortable with it or not. And if that's the case, and we have approved the first 90 days, then this would be consistent with that.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So the motion is to receive and file. Any further discussion? Voice vote, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Thank you.
Second temporary appointment is 562 for Amy Sorrow, initial 90-day appointment for the Human Resources Director until 1/22/26.
Motion to approve.
Okay. I feel like we've done that before. All right, motion made to approve, made and seconded. So, Councilor McCauley, you got a thought bubble?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to go through the motions of approving this.
Oh, yeah, that was the motion, yeah.
But it's before us tonight.
Yeah.
For the first time. So we would need... waive the rule.
Approve on first reading.
Motion to waive the rules and declare an emergency preamble and approve on
No, you want
first
to do
reading?
just stop
Oh,
short.
that's right, no, deliberate, yes. Motion to waive the rules and have an emergency preamble for this.
Is there a second?
Second.
There is. Okay, Councilor Khan.
It's not debatable, I don't think.
It's not debatable.
That was the conclusion we came to.
All right, well, hold your debate until
You're only voting on if you want to waive the rules and declare it to be an emergency. Not debatable, you're just deciding that. And then you'll vote on the actual appointment.
Which is a 2/3
Yep.
standard.
Okay,
Yep.
but we're just voting to waive the rules first.
Exactly.
An emergency.
And the emergency, and it needs to be the 2/3.
Okay, and the emergency, as Councilor Preston, I believe, said. Okay.
Question of...
Do we also need to express why it's no? an emergency?
Yes, one of the two moving councilors should express why it's an emergency.
Who was the second on that?
Since I seconded it. Yeah, so with the, current situation, not having HR is a bit of an emergency with what we just, have all kind of, come to realize that we're in the midst of some serious negotiations with the unions and also with multiple, hiring processes going on. I think it is an emergency time for HR because we really do need somebody in that role. So I don't think we can afford to wait the full process out. So that's why I think this is an emergency.
All right, thank you. So that's the rationale. It's non-debatable, and we'll do a roll call on this.
Councilor Lane's absent. Councilor McCauley?
Yes.
Councilor Preston? Councilor Shan?
Yes.
Councilor Wright?
Yes.
Councilor Zede?
Yes.
Councilor Donahue?
Yes.
Councilor Granis? Councilor Harmon?
Yes.
Councilor Khan?
Yes.
Councilor Cameron?
Yes. Now a motion to...
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. And so again, we're doing it in one vote, and now we can debate. And Councilor Khan?
Because I think we talked about this, and sorry, I had to go back to our code of ordinances on temporary appointments. Can we get clarity on this? Or maybe we should just take it up in general government, because as I looked at this and how I understood and debated, 3 months ago on this, and stood right here and really said temporary appointments are file a certificate with the clerk's office, and then it's more the motion of going through a receive and file for temporary appointments, not permanent. And I don't want us to kind of, choose some to do, choose not to do, and I was really hoping we could have consistency. So, Clerk Sullivan, not to put you on the spot, but what's your sense in looking at this? And I hope you guys don't mind. I just feel like if we're gonna just flesh it out, we could do the approval and I could say yes, but I just wanna make sure that it's not inconsistent.
So I think consistently we have done this where you have approved it in a reading if it's an emergency, or you've sent it to a committee and discussed it and then brought it back. Typically, you've approved them, but you do vet it still. It's still an appointment, and so you do still vet them. And that is historically, and I do believe it is historically that we've had them come back out for those 30 days where you have just received and filed the extension.
And then may I follow up? And then, so when it says the mayor shall file a certificate in substantially the following form, what does that mean, and what does that filing mean? Is it more, it's vague, and that filing is the form of this now, or was there something, I think it's stamped here.
Yeah, so the way that we've seen them come in, and I pulled them before to look at them, the majority of them have come in as an appointment, and they have been stamped in as an appointment. And then typically, the first time around, they go to, unless it's an emergency, they go to a committee for discussion. With the exception of what happened recently, they've always been approved, or they've come out and then been received and filed. Sometimes they come out and be received and filed, but again, that's your body accepting it.
So, because this is a time thing, 90-day, 30-day, whatnot, I think that's why I'm kind of honing in on, it's not like we're first seeing it here. I mean, the public is first seeing it, we're seeing it in our council packet, but that filing happens on a date certain, which is the 90-day, 30-day, that gets stamped in your office.
Right, and that's why the number doesn't necessarily match up. Like the one for the 30-day extension had a date on it for Jonathan Carey. That's why it's the 7th of November, I think, because it was the day that it was presented to us. The 90 days isn't, I don't believe it's 90 days from today. Maybe it is, because it's coming in first on this day. And what day, Director Sarah, what date did you start today?
Yes.
So that's why I think it's 90, it must be 90 days from today's date. It's probably what it says in the letter.
The letter says, the letter was dated on the 17th
So
from the
it's-
mayor and to Clerk Sullivan, and appointment effective October 24th, which was Donna Dralick's last day, and obviously that was Friday, I think, and today's the 27th.
So I just want to justify why this is receive and file, because the action has already happened, and I've heard on the floor here, why is the person there and we didn't approve them? So I really do think if we were to look at the language of temporary appointments, and maybe we could take it up in general government, not to be a stickler and keep this meeting going on, but remember, there will be a time, and by us approving it, yes, it's more of a, I think we're just doing it because we said we did a precedence before. It doesn't mean we have to continue doing that. There will be times when something might get stamped in a month before we met. And then we might have a debate or a future council being confused. Well, they're already there, and we didn't support it. So I really do think temporary appointments follow a different guideline. So in the spirit of that, I mean, I will vote present, just so we can receive and file it.
Okay, and again, the motion right now is on the floor is to approve. So understood, Councillor Z?
Just a very different track, but so on the appointment, given that it's being the appointee holds obviously a current director level position, what is the salary implication, if any, during the interim appointment period?
I think we could ask the Chief of Staff or the Finance Director, also the interim HR Director.
None has been discussed at this time. For what it's worth, I did unfortunately hold the same dual role several times in my previous community, so, and that also came with no additional funds.
Well, regardless of the process, we appreciate your willingness to step up. Councillor Z?
So just another question. So I know we received a little bit of an update during the mayor's update about the process that's obviously is being undertaken, but can the Chief of Staff or someone else give us a little sharper timeline as far as, do you think you're days, weeks, months away from making an offer to a candidate? Does the pool seem like you're happy with it and that maybe there's some potential? Just trying to gauge how long one thinks it will take to fill this.
You want to comment on that and just step on up to the microphone?
I'll just add to the hiring process. So we've had preliminary interviews. We will be starting the second round interviews with the candidates. I believe that will happen sometime next week. We also are well aware that there is an election happening next week. So that could also change the timeline. Candidates are also well aware of that, meaning the candidates for this position. So that we would go through that interview process and then hopefully by the next packet have an appointment ready. If that's helpful, is that?
Okay, thank you. All right, any further comment? So again, the current motion is to approve this with the waiving and emergencies, and Councillor Wright?
I'm very pleased to see that the administration is following the charter as I read it, and we're appointing another department head.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll do a roll call on this.
Counselor Lane's absent. Counselor McCauley?
Yes.
Counselor Preston? Yes. Counselor Shan?
Yes.
Counselor Wright?
Yes.
Counselor Zede?
Yes.
Counselor Donahue?
Yes.
Counselor Granis? Counselor Harmon? Yes. Counselor Khan?
Present.
Counselor Cameron?
Yes. Okay, thank you, and thank you, Amy. That got us our second reading.
Of appointment 599, Linda Skinkle, 14 Eagle Street, to the Tree Commission until November 15th, 2028.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, discussion? Okay, hearing none, second reading, roll call?
Counselor Lane is absent. Counselor McCauley?
Yes.
Counselor Preston?
Yes.
Counselor Shan?
Yes.
Counselor Wright?
Yes.
Counselor Zede?
Yes.
Counselor Donahue?
Yes.
Counselor Granis? Counselor Harmon? Yes. Counselor Khan?
Yes.
Counselor Cameron?
Yes. Council, we have the late file application. Is that going to come?
It was referred to license and permits.
Oh, okay, great. Missed that. Thank you.
And then, so then we'll have the orders. The continued order from October 7th is Order 761, the gift acceptance for $1,200 for Friends of Newburyport Trees, Cynthia D. Gomper's Charitable Trust.
To approve?
Second.
Okay, discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Now, I'll take a bite at the next several, if that's okay. So, motion to collectively refer Order 765, which is a grant acceptance, Police, $61,192. Order 766, grant acceptance, Police Municipal Road Safety, $28,245. Order 767, which is grant acceptance, Police as well, Edward J. Byrne Memorial Justice Fund, $30,000. And then Order 768, FY26 supplemental budget, and Order 769, CPC, FY26 supplemental Atkinson Common Lily Pond Coping. So all of them will be to Budget and Finance, with the exception that 768 would also include Committee of the Whole.
Second.
Okay. So all referred to Budget and Finance, and 768, the supplemental budget appropriation request, would be also a Committee of the Whole. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Thank you.
One second reading ordinance, it's ordinance 208, the amendment to Chapter 2, Section 26 on appointments.
Motion to approve,
Second.
as amended,
On second reading.
on second reading.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all roll call.
Counselor Lane's absent. Counselor McCauley?
Yes.
Counselor Preston?
Yes.
Counselor Shan?
Yes.
Counselor Wright?
Yes.
Counselor Zede?
Yes.
Counselor Donahue?
Yes.
Counselor Granis?
Yes.
Counselor Harmon?
Yes.
Counselor Khan?
Yes.
Counselor Cameron?
Yes. Lead us to committee items. Budget and Finance.
So, Mr. President, there's nothing coming out tonight, but I did want to just give you a quick heads up as to what's coming. So on Thursday, we have our standing committee meeting, which we will have. Right now, we are set for 6:30 here. I'm going to docket everything that came in tonight, and that includes the supplemental. My current line of thinking, and certainly open to feedback from anybody if they wish, but is that we'll give the administration an opportunity to present to us any rationale that they wish for the supplemental, and then we won't really deliberate too much. We'll simply formulate any questions, any invitees people would like to have, and so forth, and with the anticipation that we'll hold it in committee. I think the reason for that is that you really need all the pieces together. You need the tax rate information, the free cash number, and the supplemental, I think, to all converge to have a sensible, well-rounded debate. So that brings me to my next piece, which is that we are anticipating the submission of the tax rate information on November 17th. And I emailed all of you about that at this time is envisioned to be the earliest that it could be ready for us. And what that sets us up for is we will have another regular standing meeting on November 20th That's already on the calendar for Budget and Finance, at which time we would again docket the supplemental, but we'd also docket the tax rate conversation, and hopefully we would have some free cash information available to us at that time. And then last but not least, that then puts us in a position to contemplate the special meeting that has been requested of the City Council to act on the tax rate. In very brief conversation with the President, it probably doesn't make sense to try and get in between the 20th and Thanksgiving to ruin everybody's plans, so probably we'll go to the next week. So what I'm telling you is we'll probably have a night this coming Thursday as sort of the opening on the supplemental, and then come the 20th, we'll have a larger scale debate, and then pending that outcome, do we need another committee meeting? I don't know yet. I guess we'll find out together once we have the proposal and have a little bit more info. And then just in your mind, probably think about that the week after Thanksgiving, some kind of a special meeting. And the reason for that is because the finance team and assessor and everybody who's involved need to get the tax bills out. So that is the timeline we're working with. So the other items this Thursday will be things like the grant acceptances, the CPC allocation, the monies for the Plum Island, the other things that have been referred. So that's sort of the outlook, at least as of today, as best as one can see it.
So just, thank you,
Yeah.
that's a great summary of that. And so that probably means that special meeting might be December, the following Monday after Thanksgiving, which obviously is Thursday. I don't think we want to do it on so-called Black Friday, the next day, but would be Monday the 1st or this Tuesday the 2nd.
1, 2, or 3 was what we were asked for between the 1st and the 3rd, but we
So
can.
we'll check in on scheduling with council members. Council McCauley?
Yeah, just a comment on that. If you do choose to do that, let's remember that the meeting will have to be posted almost a week in advance.
Yes.
Because of
The holidays.
The holiday.
Yeah, and just, sorry to pay, but we also have, like we do with other things, we have a hearing mandate, for the tax, not the tax rate, but the splitting of the tax rate. We have to have a hearing, so we have to meet all of the regulatory requirements, and yes, we would have to post well in advance. So it's just hard to know what the debate's going to be without knowing what the proposal is, so that's why the 17th, I try my best, and I'm sure the council president will as well, to try and make this as sensible for ourselves and for the public to be able to participate if they wish, but working with what we have.
Thank you. All right, thank you for that update from Budget and Finance. Community Services?
Yeah, thank you. We do not have anything coming out of Community Services tonight, and we also have a clear docket, so we will be canceling our next meeting. However, while I have the floor, I had hoped to give an update about the ad hoc committee on water infrastructure prioritization, if I could. Thank you. So the committee has now met 4 times. The meat of the discussion that we've had has really been around the dam at the Lower Artichoke Reservoir, as well as Phase 1 of the Indian Hill project. And then we had a subsequent meeting to discuss the water treatment plant. We do have a number of meetings still coming up. Bear with me, I'm going to go through these, but both for hopefully your attendance, but also for the public. So this coming Wednesday, we are on the October 29th, we're going to finish the discussion on the water treatment facility, as well as the upgrades to the facility. We also are going to have a conversation around the reservoirs with a focus on the algae blooms. Both the consultant from AECOM will join us around the water treatment facility, as well as our water treatment, limnology and water treatment specialist vendor will join us to talk around the algae blooms in the reservoirs. On November 5th, we're going to finish the discussion on the Indian Hill project. Computer just went dark on me, sorry, on the Indian Hill project, as well as discuss the collaboration and impacts within West Newbury. Then on November 12th, so we've added a couple of meetings, frankly, because of just all of the information that we really need to get through, and our push to be able to get deliberate within the committee about the prioritization of the projects, as well as get a report out and get that report to this body before our last meeting on December 8th. We did have to add a few meetings in. So on November 12th, We're going to have any unfinished discussions around the Indian Hill project, as well as a discussion around the Amesbury Interconnect and the financial impacts of all the discussions. On November 19th will be the opportunity for us to deliberate on prioritization of the projects, and then November 26th would be deliberation on the report so that we could get it finalized and hopefully get it to this body. It is really important for this body to understand that for us to do this and get, do all the work that we really need to do, be able to have appropriate discussion around prioritization and finalizing of the report, it seems very likely that what we're going to have to do is bring the report in on December 8th, which is, of course, our very last meeting of this term, and really deliberate and debate it here on the floor and have an emergency to approve this in one reading. So I just want to give you all that heads up. We are going to try hard to push, but just the cadence of the meetings makes that really difficult for us to be able to do that, to get everything done before our meeting in November, which, it does not seem terribly realistic to think that that could actually happen, but we will try. But so the discussions that we've really had an excellent discussion on the dam and the phasing of the Indian Hill project, and I really do feel like the team seems very aligned, and we're really making great progress on that. The city engineer has been out, so we did back burner that conversation about finalizing on Indian Hill, but we do, as I stated, really hope to take that up at our November 5th meeting. At our last meeting, we had, at least for me, a very eye-opening discussion about the water treatment facility, including the age of the facility, the lack of redundancy at the facility, the lack of updated technology at the facility, and concerns about updating the existing facility versus building a new facility. So the pros and cons of, do we update what the existing building as it is, or do we just, rather than trying to update that, do we push through to having a brand new facility with that upgrade brought into it. So, those are the types of discussions that we have. We really do have a lot more to discuss, and but I do think we're making really good progress, but I do think it's very unlikely we'll be able to bring anything in before the very last meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that and really pushing. It's been very helpful. All right, that would lead us to general government. I would make a motion to receive and file communication 667, city clerk quarterly update.
Second.
Thank you. So we did meet sometime, I don't remember when, maybe it was last Monday. Yeah, I think it was last Monday, with the clerk present, and we did vote 3-0 in committee to receive and file this. Just want to emphasize a couple of points. So this is this quarterly update's pretty new, so I think it's iterative, which means it's evolving. We talked about certainly election updates that are coming up, parking, getting ready for permitting, and had a couple, and obviously lots of support that the clerk's office gives to the city council. Regarding parking, I think we're going to try to get a parking advisory committee up and running. Obviously, there's this little thing called an election happening right now and ending on November 4th. So that's taken up a lot of time, obviously. Also talked a little bit about the parking study that's happening with the administration, and there were counts that were made in September, and the consultant's going to be looking at permits and fees, and hopefully there'll be something actionable and helpful out of that. And we also did talk, as this evolves, working in tracking of numbers in a way that's not going to be too much work for the clerk's office. Also helps set them up for the annual budget for next fiscal year when all those numbers need to get dumped in. So that was the general update on that. And again, we approved that to receive and file 3-0. Any questions, discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of receiving and filing, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. And motion to receive and file Order 646. Thanks. This is the rules amendment to Rule 10B, gaining the floor. We'd had a lot of discussion about this through many meetings. I think it's been it's been one of those good standing items. But we did decide to receive and file this. And this was around, okay, and I'm also remembering at the last meeting, Councillor Khan was not present, and she was the sponsor of this, so we had discussed this in a previous meeting, but I think it's been good discussion around how to tighten up our meetings, and hopefully will lead to some improvements in the future. So we, again, did vote it 3-0 to receive and file. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And finally, motion to approve Order 764, resolution in support of democracy and the U.S. Constitution.
Second.
Thank you. So we did get public comment also at this meeting. Marianne Vesey, who spoke in our public comment earlier. So this was a motion, a resolution that she had suggested to, I don't know if she emailed all the councillors, but Councillor Harmon and I talked, and in all openness, he did most of the drafting. And looking at how different communities have handled this, I know we're generally focused on our local issues and the things that we can control within our so-called sphere of influence. But there's no denying that what's happening at a larger level is concerning to many of us. And that's why this resolution is structured the way it is. We had a good discussion in committee. It was approved 3-0 by committee members. There are some actions in terms of expressing, our collective support in bullet number 1, and affirming, basically the bedrock of our republic, the Constitution, and then we're, affirming the duties of officials at all levels, and we will, in 3 and 4, communicate this to Newburyport's state and federal representatives to add our voice to that cause. So that was what came out of committee, and again, the vote was to approve 3-0. Any discussion? Councilor McCauley?
Yeah, I just have a quick question. I understand why we're trying to make a statement like this. My question really is, I've been a 3-time city councilor, and I've taken an oath to defend the Constitution for the last three terms that I've served here, and I'm unsure if this is if I'm reaffirming this, or if this is questioning my commitment to my pledge that my oath that I've already taken. And so that's really my question. I just don't know which is which.
Councilor Harmon?
Thank you. The intent was not to question anyone's, upholding of their oath, but rather to reference for anyone reading this that in addition to our oath to uphold the Charter, we also have an oath to uphold the Constitution, and by doing so, I think that's an expression that we think that matters, that the Constitution is the guiding document for our country, plain and simple.
Yeah, and I would just add that the oath that we do swear when we're sworn in, which that is, upholding the Constitution is part of that. I don't see anything in here that undermines that. You could say it reaffirms it, or it reiterates it once again. So, okay. Any further discussion? We'll do a roll call on this.
Councillor Lane is absent. Councillor McCauley?
Yes.
Councillor Preston?
Yes.
Councillor Shan?
Yes.
Councillor Wright?
Yes.
Councillor Zede?
Present?
Councillor Donahue?
Yes.
Councillor Granis? Yes. Councillor Harmon?
Yes.
Councillor Khan?
Yes.
Councillor Cameron?
Yes. So that is it for general government. We did have a bit of a discussion, fairly substantial discussion, about the ordinance about collaborative government, and Councillor Zede had submitted some questions and comments as well. So we decided, we started to get into a long discussion that was going to take up the whole meeting. We just decided to hold on that, but we'll take that up at the next general government. So that's it for that. License and permits, Councillor Wright.
Thank you, Council President. I have nothing to report, but we have work ahead of us. So we'll be meeting at our regular scheduled time, which is the Wednesday following the city council meeting.
Great.
Which is, does that
Next week.
Yes, next week, right?
Point of
Councilor Harmon?
information, so within license and permits before tonight, it was only the parklet fees item. When we discussed this in the spring, we had an outpouring of public expression on this and from the business community, and we made some, during the debate and deliberation on that time, we made some commitments to reassess following the close of the parklet season. I understand there's been some tenuous circumstances around closing that season early for some of the restaurants due to the paving of State Street. So I'm not trying to bring forward this conversation until we're ready, and I will defer to the chair and the sponsor on that. But one piece of it that I do want us to make sure we don't lose sight of, and this is through the chair to the chief of staff, an assessment of the condition and the hours so that we have whoever's around this table next spring when this likely comes back up again, we're armed with some data to inform us, and I'm not asking for the data, I'm just trying to remind that that was something we committed to and we should have available when the time comes. I'll defer to the chair or chief of staff.
Okay. Thank you.
If I may.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Council President. To answer your question, yes, we have worked with DPS to do sort of the maintenance of the parklets. And then for our log, it's still imperfect, but we do have something that helps track the amount of labor, because we know that a lot of the costs presented last spring were soft costs. So we are trying to get a better handle on what that looks like.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, that would lead us to planning and development. Councillor Shand.
Thank you, Council President. We don't have anything coming out tonight. I will state that the zoning amendment for the accessory dwelling units, our joint hearing has been changed from next Wednesday to November 13th. That's the following Thursday. So our joint hearing will be then. Thank you.
Is that also is that at the library?
It is going to be here.
Oh, okay. All right, I saw something on the calendar. All right. Pretend I didn't say that because I don't want anyone showing up in the wrong place. That would lead us to Public Works and Safety.
Motion to approve Order 758. Sorry. At the meeting of that we had on Monday the 20th, we spoke a little bit at length at this. This was a council of the whole type of matter. We had some additional councillors that were present. Our focus on this wasn't to talk about the response so much as it is to validate some of the legal underpinnings of the opinions that were given to the committee. And through deliberation by the committee itself, we've come up with 6 questions that were to be submitted, and they were amended going forward. And these really have direct impact as to what was advised from our solicitor to the Water and Sewer Commission going forward. And the committee found that there was enough discrepancies to warrant a request from council, a special counsel on that. The clerk has submitted 3 names, which we would not choose, but we would ask the larger body to look at and approve. And then with that, we'd submit a packet-like of information with all of this type of information with backup, just to make sure that we were being efficient in the time of the request going forward. So with that, I'll ask for your approval on this. I'm sure there'll be some debate, but I don't want to preclude the debate going forward, so I'll yield.
Okay, further discussion? Councillor Zede?
Yeah, thank you. I support asking any questions anytime. I always think we can learn more. I will say that, at least I just want to say on the record, I do think we've used a lot of terms like in the washing machine now. So a privilege fee and a betterment are not the same thing, and that's an important distinction, as I think the residents on Plum Island would agree that I represent. And that there's a difference also between a waiver and an abatement. And I'm very curious to hear the answers to these questions, because I think it's so important for us to sort of dissect how the fee got set. what the terms and conditions were under which an abatement, so it's interesting, again, different terminology has been used. Sometimes it's been referred to as a waiver, sometimes it's an abatement. Legally, I do think these have different meanings to them. And again, it's very much so with privilege versus betterment, because if you read some of the sort of guidance on Mass General Law itself, privilege fees can be thought of as a permanent fee. They don't have a start or an end. So I do think that there's been an effort to try and capture some of these questions. My primary angle on going on the record is two things. One is I am interested in the outcome of this for the residents on Plum Island who've nearly spent the full 20 years paying for the betterment with little to no. I'm not familiar with any abatements on that have been successfully granted in all the years, and I've directed residents to. I even had one case some years ago where a betterment was questioned that was being charged on essentially an unbuildable lot, and to no success. So I'm very curious in that regard. I'm also very curious because, the city council or the city may entertain setting new privilege or betterment fees in the future to support, say, some very large-scale infrastructure projects that are occurring in a specific place. They've been discussed in context, for example, with the overarching downtown utility project, which we haven't really wrapped our arms around. So I'm very curious as to what the outcome of this is going to be, and I think there's been, yes, it certainly is relevant for us to understand how this occurred for the Kmart meeting. That is the top of mind question for residents today. How, why, and so that they can ascertain if it made sense to them. But I just wanted to point out the broader context. And so I'll just conclude by saying, I think it would be very helpful if we could ask the clerk as part of this to attach anything to this when it's sent to the attorney, like the original order should just be included in this package. So A, we don't have to pay more money for them to go searching for stuff, but whatever relevant documents and minutes exist from the privilege fee setting period, if that can be, certainly the order can be found, we know that, but any minutes, and then any recent minutes from the Water Sewer Commission so that they can hear, and then of course the so-called 3 opinions or whatever it is that we've been hearing so much about. If those, just please preload them so that they can be productive and efficient for us and hopefully give us some clarity so we can have that in our knowledge base for the next time or even this time.
Thank you. Councillor Khan.
Thank you, Council President. I wasn't able to come, or I think it happened right here at the meeting, so I'm sorry I wasn't here for that. The one thing, when I initially saw this and I was trying to think, what's the outcome we're trying to achieve? Because at the end of the day, if we're trying to see if we can get back the money, what's left on the bond, honestly, I think this is where I was just compelled to find that this was a good compromise that was made. But in hearing my colleague from Ward 1's kind of thoughtful, approach of what else we could kind of ascertain, it's a little helpful that these are probably good things to get settled and to talk about. So I won't I will support this, but the one thing I do want to add in it is a long time ago, I think it was Order 645. I would like to actually include, if we can, I know we're packaging things along and that's still in committee, but when we were talking about kind of discontinuing the privilege fee, and a question that came to my mind is if I remember correctly, folks have 20 years to pay the fee, something like that. And so what does that mean if the fee's not paid and if we're trying to discontinue it for other people, other kind of hookups that, and my intention was if we know somebody is going to be able to pay it off and will pay the remainder of it, can we provide that relief to any residents or homes? So would the sponsor be okay to maybe include that in there as if there is an avenue for knowing that we already have that? And I don't know if it's too late, but if we could do it as an amendment to that reference to that Order 645.
Councilman Swally.
Yeah, so I'd be open to questions regarding to that. I would not be open to accepting the order as it stood. And the reason, my rationale for that is the privilege fee that was established in 2005 has no sunset date on it. And so therefore it would take an act of us, and that's one of our questions here, to discontinue that. It's unrelated to actions by the Water Commission, Water and Sewer Commission. It's unrelated to the bond fee or anything like that. going forward. So if there, I would be more than open to adding another question regarding how we go about discontinuing the privilege fee and adding a number to 7 if you'd like to be able to do that.
Exactly, that's great. To frame it like that is fine, and then we could decide.
So I'll make the amendment on the floor, if you'll have patience with me to do that, that will add question 7 regarding the process by which a privilege fee would be discontinued by the legislature.
What is the process?
What is
by
the
which?
process?
And should it be privilege and betterment?
Well, this is just about privilege fee.
I'm reading the wording of Order 645.
Okay, so the amendment is to add that as a 7th question.
Yes.
Was there a second
Second.
on that? Okay. Councillor Zede?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and I think it goes right to the heart. Betterment, the way I understand it, is really tied to a specific project and bond. A privilege fee is meant to be actually broader than that. That's why they have different terms. It's just a permanent, if you read the Mass General Law, it's like the permanent fee to connect to the sewer. It's meant to be a one-time fee, but it doesn't specifically, it's just sort of like the entire cost of the system gets more expensive, so to connect to it, and it says it's based on the number of units. So I think it's an important distinction and a really good question, because if we, again, it's the logic path, but if it comes back to the city council needs to do something, if we want to end it or change it for some people but not for others, or certain conditions but not for others, we should understand. Maybe it's just another order, that would be my guess, but we obviously should get the answer. So I very much think it's a good question.
Councillor McCauley?
Just a point of order. I'm accepting that question as a friendly amendment. So therefore, I'd like, as my second, to understand that so we can approve it all as.
Unanimous consent-ish, depending on the chair's read.
If anyone objects.
Does anyone object to adding that as a friendly amendment? All right. It's really friendly then.
So friendly.
Okay, so that will be an additional question. Yeah, Councilor Preston?
Yeah, thanks. Just a quick question. So I'm fully supportive of this, but my question is really around the process from here about should this get approved, how do we choose a lawyer? More than anything, I just want to see it happen sooner rather than later. So how do we go from there?
Councilor McCauley?
So the clerk has 3 names that she has obtained through her own networking. And so depending on what we vote, we can either help her pick that name. We haven't shared them. I just thought it would be confidential for the clerk to be able to pick that. But I'm completely open to any suggestions you have. We have a constraint of time, and we have a budget of $2,500, so unsure where we stand on that.
Can I, Councilor Wright?
Can we add to the amendment instructions to the clerk to select an attorney?
That's fine by me.
So it can be expedient?
I have no particular
Otherwise,
expertise
we've
here.
got to wait to come back to another meeting.
I'd accept that as a friendly amendment.
Thank you.
Second.
Is that acceptable to the second? All right, does anyone have any objection to the friendliness of that amendment? All right, there are no single objections, so that is also added. And what is the precise language here? The clerk shall be instructed to
Select the attorney and transmit the questions and associated documents.
It's all on you, Kathleen. Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Roll call.
Councilor Lane's absent. Councilor McCauley?
Yes.
Councilor Preston?
Yes.
Councilor Shan?
Yes.
Councilor Wright?
Yes.
Councilor Zede?
Yes.
Councilor Donahue?
Yes.
Councilor Granis?
Yes.
Councilor Harmon?
Yes.
Councilor Khan?
Yes.
Councilor Cameron?
Yes. Okay.
Nothing else, and we're searching for a date because our scheduled date is Monday, and we'll move that date.
That would lead us to good of the order. I believe Clerk Sullivan would like to say something.
Could I just say something
Start
quickly?
with Councilor Wright.
Yeah, I'd just like to acknowledge that Councillor Lane had a personal issue that he had to take care of this evening, and that's the reason for his absence tonight.
Yes, thank you. He will be marked in attendance because he was at the beginning. Yes, thank you. Any further goods of the order? Clerk Sullivan?
So if I may, we said goodbye to JT Chamberlain last week. His last day was Friday, and he's been with us for 4 years. It's been wonderful having him. He was a great addition to the clerk's office, and we will miss him. I do want to say that we had a nice rollout to early voting. We've had smooth sailing, and I want to make mention to all of our community residents, candidates, everyone. We have a great staff and all of our polling officers, the police department, DPS. We are ready to go, and nobody should have any concerns or worries. We're ready for November 4th. Okay? If anyone has any questions, please reach out to the office, and we are happy to answer them. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck to everybody.
To adjourn?
Good luck to all.
Regardless of their campaign status or none. Okay. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
By and by. Happy Halloween.
Meant to say on the sale of the order.
Supposed to be all right?